Vijay, I'm moving out. I'll join from my account. I'll make you the host now.
Yeah, yes, sir. Dear all, we shall wait for 2 more minutes and then we can start. Ma'am, your screen is not in full screen mode. Can you
Yeah,
just
yeah,
put your first page and then make it as a full screen?
yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Your screen is visible. Yeah.
I'm just not able to get the.
You can move the screens slides, ma'am. Yes. Yes, the screen is moving.
Mm. Mm.
You can keep it in the front first slide.
It's going into that. Okay.
Keep the first slide.
Yeah.
Phoebe, ma'am, you can start.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of the Digital Humanities, MCCRC on Digital Humanities. Yesterday's session was on ethical dimensions of AI in digital humanities, and we learned how digital humanities combines literature, data, and computational tools to analyze large texts, which reveals patterns and insights while keeping human interpretation central. And we also saw how it raises ethical concerns around bias, representation, copyright, requiring responsible, transparent, and critical use of AI in research. And ultimately, digital humanities does not replace traditional humanities but enhances research depth, scale, and responsibility in literary and cultural studies. So today we are very happy to have with us Dr. Femina Shiba, Assistant Professor, MCA, who will be explaining to us about visualizing English literature, data-driven interpretation, and narrative representation. So before I hand over the session to ma'am, I would like to say a few words of introduction to ma'am. Dr. Femina Ma'am is an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science at Madras Christian College with over 3 decades of teaching experience since 1995, holding an MCA from Anna University, a PhD from the University of Madras, and a certification from the Harvard Center for Teaching and Learning. Her research expertise lies in medical imaging, particularly in image segmentation, classification, and watermarking, with notable collaborations including Liverpool Hope University and CMC Vellore on AI-driven diagnostic tools like BLOS-MIA. In addition to her extensive publications and reviewer roles, she is actively involved in student training, research initiatives, and digital innovation projects, while also serving as a long-standing placement coordinator and contributor to the MCCRC academic community. Ma'am was also a part of the MDP program, MDP on Digital Humanities Introduction to Literature, which was offered by Cooker. And now I'm very happy to invite ma'am to talk about the session on visualizing English literature, data-driven interpretation and narrative representation, which explores how computational tools transform literary texts into visual insights, enabling deeper understanding of themes, patterns, and storytelling structures. So over to you, ma'am. A hearty welcome to ma'am and to the team and all of the participants. Thank you.
Good evening, and somehow my camera is not focusing. I tried connecting it on my phone so that I can keep my face visible, but that is not getting connected, Phoebe. I don't know. Can you send that link again to me? So maybe I'll try. Meanwhile, I'll start.
Ma'am, it's okay. Fine. You can just go ahead.
Yeah, I'll start my
Yes,
presentation.
yes, ma'am.
So today's topic given to me is visualizing English literature, data-driven interpretation, and narrative representation. So this consists of 4 sessions. Maybe 10 to 15 minutes I will take for each session. Session 1, we'll see designing visual narratives and creating comparative dashboards. Session 2 will be visualization sentiment. Session 3, we will see visualization character networks. And session 4, converting visual patterns into research. So today's the outcome would be to understand how visualizations can be used to tell stories about literature, culture, and history. Use simple tools like Voyant tools, Python to create meaningful visual narratives. 1 second. And it has got connected on my phone. So create visual arguments about themes, characters, emotion, trajectories, and cultural patterns. Produce visualizations that support research questions. Session 1, we're going to see about designing visual narratives. And actually, when you take a graph, turning into data into literary stories. We will use some graphs, and the graphs can speak various things like designing visual narratives, storytelling, creating comparative dashboards, and visualizing sentiment or emotion curves. So now you can see in the um, screen, there are two graphs. Can somebody tell me which graph tells a better story? Anybody can say which graph tells a better story.
Participants can type in the chat box.
The first one or second one? Have you typed in the chat box?
Ma'am, it depends on from which point of view you are looking at.
Okay.
If anybody with financial background, I think the first one will give you a very nice
Okay.
story. But somebody who's not used to cluttered, I think second one will give you a better story. So
Better.
again,
So
what
now
is the
when
name?
we take a literary analysis, we mainly go for the simple line graph, because here we are able to see the what goes down and how it comes out and all that. So that kind of graph we will use it, because that will tell you a better story when it comes to any analysis of text. Because here, as sir said, of course, suppose say we want to have some stock market readings and all that, that's the first one would be better. But when you take turning data into literary stories, because that's the heading there, then the second one, the simple line graph, will be better for our analysis. And so I'm going to focus mainly on such kind of graphs. So here we see a visual narrative links uh, various things. There is a question, a data, could be a chart, and from that we will do some interpretation, and finally we will have literary insights. So now here you see there is a scene. Okay, so if you see the scene, there are too many people on the stage, then the scene becomes very confusing. So we need to carefully see that when you set up a stage, there should be the correct number of characters, so that our analysis will become better. So I will show you the first demo, how to analyze a text using Voyant tools. Okay, so I'll be introducing Voyant tools now. Okay, so here I'm going to use a text. Okay, so I have a text which is very prominent, and the emotion there is so visible. So I have taken a text, but as maybe a literature people or history or philosophy, you may want to analyze your own text, and you may have your research in a particular text, and then you can use that. Okay, so let me take that text first. Okay, the text is here. Okay, let me use this text. Okay, this is the text that I'm going to use. So let me copy this text. And use this text in my tool. This is the text I'm going to use. See, if you see that in this text, this is about the hallway where the side, it is more more into the fear of a person. So here it says the hallway is silent, heavy, and the air is very cold, and no, it talks too much things about that kind of a fearful situation. And then it talks about a person walking further, and so the person gets very afraid with seeing the shadows dance on the walls, and the wind howled, and so many description. So he finally says, I ran blindly, stumbling over the uneven floor, and the fear consumed me cold and sharp, and I could hear footsteps behind, and the fear was absolute. So this is a kind of a text I have taken so that we will be able to see this in the Voyant tools. Okay, so I have copied the text, and so I will paste it here. Okay, so if you have your complete PDF file, you can go there and upload it. If not, if you want to just analyze a paragraph or something, you can copy it here and click reveal. Okay, so now what I would like you all to focus is this part, okay, the right side, which is the frequency bar chart. So now here in this particular paragraph, there are few words you can see over there: whisper, heavy, gone, felt, fear. This is the maximum number of words, or the first five words which has the maximum times which is repeated as given as a graph. Now here I want to just I say my concern is I want to study or analyze about fear. Then I check the fear. So the fear graph alone is shown. So when the fear graph is shown, from here what I can understand from this graph is there is a gradual decrease of fear. First there is a fear, then it goes little spiky, and towards the end it goes to a greater height, and then comes down and settles. So from there itself, you can understand a kind of a story that is building around fear, even without much understanding or much reading about how that fear is going to be. It is the graph itself will describe you how the fear. So here I am analyzing mainly about the fear. And then if you see here, the left side, this is the word cloud. And here, if you see what is the most, the highest or the striking emotion that is given here is fear, because fear is written in bold letters. And of course, there are darkness, heavy, whisper, cold behind, and all that are towards associated towards fear. So this is the way you can see in this tool and analyze the text. Now going back to the Okay. Going back to the. So this is the text that we saw. Now, there is a question that is given here from the Pride and Prejudice, chapter 1. How central is marriage in the early chapters? Okay. So for your sake, I analyzed this using the Voyant tools, and I sort of took around the 10 chapters, the first 10 chapters, and I used the chapters, some chapter text, and used the word marriage, because here the question is how central is marriage in the early chapters. So here when you use that, in the first chapter, there were nothing related to marriage, because that if I put marriage, there was no curve that is generated, because marriage was not spoken in the first one. But when I went into the sixth chapter, I remember, then the marriage was spoken. So for your understanding, let's upload Pride and Prejudice in this Voyant tools, okay? So let's go back to the Voyant tools. And here I'm going to upload. Okay. So here I have stored all the chapters. So let me use chapter 6. I think it is chapter 6, or maybe it may be chapter 7. So I'm typing marriage. So here in this chapter alone, marriage is spoken. So if you take in the early chapters, in the first 10 chapters, in this chapter alone, marriage is spoken. But I'm sure, like, because there are some more around 50 chapters, so I'm not able to load one after the other and show it to you. Those who are interested to analyze maybe marriage, or it could be pride. Okay, so now let me analyze pride. So if you see pride is not mentioned in chapter 6 at all. Okay, so like that, whatever you want to concentrate, whether pride or prejudice or marriage or love or whatever, then you can see. So in chapter 6, if you see in the word cloud, Mr. Bennett, then Darcy, okay, uh, they are all highlighted. That means they are playing a major role in that particular chapter. So in each chapter, if you load and check, you will see who is playing the major role, or what emotion, or what word is used the most, and so on. Okay, so that is about this. Now, you may think that, in a Voyant tools, all those, it is taking all the verbs and letters like the, all these, words like the, everything is being taken, and the frequency graph is generated based on all the words. But when we do a programming, then all this can be controlled to our own way. So here, let me explain this program to you. So this is a Python program. So here first I'm going to import few things. To draw the graphs, usually we will import matplotlib. That's a library to draw the graph, matplotlib.pyplot. As you can give your own name, PLT. And for the numbers, I give numpy as NP. And here I'm going to use a collection, because I'm going to use the string and how the string should be. So for that, I'm using collections. And also RE, import RE means regular expression. Regular expression means I want my string to be in a particular style. So I'm using the regular expression. So the first line that I will give in the program is, I will say text is equal to whatever text you want, just give within quotes. Within 3 quotes, I'm giving this text. Okay. So the same, the silence in the hallway, that is the text I have. The hallway is the paragraph that I have given. So within quotes, okay, that is the text. Then you have to say what are the words that you don't want to be read in this particular text, words you want to ignore. So whatever words you want to ignore, you can just put one set completely within brackets, and within quotes you can put all the words. I don't want to read the and all this, I want to ignore. That's why I have given that set of words. And then I will clean the text using the regular expression, because I don't want any punctuation in my text, and I want the text, everything to be in the lower case, that is all small letters. Okay, so I use a variable called raw words, and in that I will find all the words. Okay, words means W plus. When I say slash B on both sides, that is the end of the word. So at the end of the word could be a space, or could be a full stop. So it will take each word and it will form a text of those words and convert it into lower letters. So all the punctuation marks, everything will be left out. Next, we filter out the stop words. So we already have defined what are the stop words. So we take, we put in the loop for all word in raw words. That is all the words we have given in the raw words. If word is raw words is the cleaned set of words now. Okay. If suppose the text that I am going to give is, I am femina, comma, who like to teach digital humanities. Okay, so then from this example, what it will take, I am femina, I am will be a word, femina will be a word, who will be a word, but that comma will be removed off. Okay, so who, like, two will not be taken because two is in the stop word. So it will filter the stop words. Who like to handle will be taken digital humanities. So it will split them all into words, as and you call them as filtered words. And now you count the words, and you will draw the graph. Okay, so we have already used the variable plot PLT, so you can use that as a figure, and you give the size as 12.5, and you draw it in a particular area, subplot, and you draw a bar graph. Give a title for the graph called as image A top words, and Y label, and X, the in the X line, X axis, you write it in a slightly 45 degrees, slight slanting words. So that is it. And you show it. So you will get a graph like this. Okay. Now you can see the title, what we have given, image A, top words, noise removed. And you can see all that is in x-axis, all the words, okay? Fear, heavy, felt, cold, darkness. These are the words and their counts given in the y-axis. And the words are written 45 degrees tilted. So now if I take this, I'll run this in the collab and show it to you. I have already copied the program in the collab here, kept it ready for you. So I'm going to run it in collab. So collab is an online tool that is given to you. It's a GPU. So you can just paste your Python code there and run it. So if you run it, oh, sorry. This is my first, whatever I showed you, that is the first one. Okay, can you see the text I'm given here? Stop words. And then I draw words and I filter the words, count it and draw the graph. And so this is the graph that I get, which I have copied it for you in my okay. So far, is it okay? If it is okay, then you can just put a thumbs up and I will have a look at it. Sir, is it clear from whatever I speak? Ashik sir? Phoebe ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
okay.
It is.
Fine. So now let me continue. So this is the Python program that we saw. Now the second thing that I'm going to explain is comparative dashboards. That is a tool where you will have multi charts and there will be so many dashboards and each will speak to us. Okay. So that is what we're going to see. So now what is a dashboard? Dashboard is like a collage of scenes in a movie trailer. Each small scene will build the final story. So there will be various things like a trailer, and if you put everything together, you will get a better story. So this is what we're going to see as demo 3. So here we are going to see the word cloud, trend graph, frequency table, and context panel. Okay, so I have copied the same text over there. Okay, so now I spoke to you about this graph. Here I'm going to speak to you about the word cloud. So we saw here already, this is the word cloud. So now go back and upload the Pride and Prejudice for you. So I'm uploading the entire novel Pride and Prejudice. Okay. So now if you see the word cloud here, the Elizabeth gets much bolder because the whole story is revolved around Elizabeth. So if you see whole story revolved around these people, then so we can see from the word cloud, it is revolved around Elizabeth, Darcy, Jane, Bingley, Bennet, and so on. Okay, so this is the understanding from the word cloud. Now here, if you see the terms, you will see how many times these things are repeated. That is, Elizabeth is repeated 597 times. That's why Elizabeth plays, we can understand that Elizabeth plays a major role in that. And also, here also, from the graph also, we can see that Elizabeth and Darcy play the major role. And so they are having the highest number of words. Darcy has 374 words. We can ignore the said, Mr., Mrs., and all that. Okay. Next is Mrs. Bennett, because the mother has a major role here to play with the daughter's life. So that is 294 times. So this is the word cloud, and it will tell you a lot of meaning about this. And so here you see that this Voyant tools itself is having many dashboards. Here this dashboard will give you the text that we have entered. This will give you the frequency table. This will give the word cloud and many more, which we will be seeing. So here this gives a summary also, which says what is the vocabulary density, readability index, how readable it is, and all these kind of most frequently used words and all those summary it will give. So we saw the narrative from the hallway. You can do Shakespeare's play Hamlet and see how the story revolves around the main character Hamlet. And this I would give it as an assignment, or you can do it yourself. Take these poems, Daffodils, A Rose for Emily, The Road Not Taken, and you can sketch this word count or word cloud and the frequency table, you can say, and then you can use it if you are doing a capstone project. Going to session 2. So here we are going to see first we are going to see visualizing sentiment or emotional curves. Okay, so emotional curve is like the soundtrack of a film. That is, when it is joyful, if you will see the music rising, and it will fall during the tragic times. So we can use Python here again for generating the emotion curve. So the first few lines will be the same as I have already described. That is, you can put the story text, whatever text you want here. If you want to put the hallway here, you can put the hallway. You want to put chapter 1 of Pride Prejudice, you put whatever text you want, you can put here. And then here I'm going to see the positive and negative emotions. Okay, so I have to define what are the positive words. So sun, golden, glow, hope, and joy, up to joy. These are the few positive words that I am giving here. And the negative words are heavy, cold, everything to do with fear, I put as negative words. Words to ignore, we already saw the words that we don't take, stop words. And now you convert everything, all the words into lowercase. So story text is the set of words. Dot lower means it will convert everything to lower text and put it in a variable called clean text, which we will be using. Now I'm going to remove, as usual, the punctuation which we saw in the previous program. So the punctuation will be removed. And now I am going to loop through all the words, okay, and append the words to the filtered words. The words alone is appended and kept for our display. Now I'm going to count what are the positive words and what are the negative words. So I'm going to keep the current score as 0. And if it is positive, then the current score I will add. If it is negative, then current score will be deducted. So this will be based on the positive and negative. And I will append the scores to say with two a variable called scores. So scores dot append, I will append the score as current score. And then this is once again, I'm going to draw the graph, the usual, what we saw in the last. So now I'm going to go to the second part of my program, second program. Okay, this is the first program that we saw. So I have already copied the second program, and I will run the program for you and show the output. See the output. This is how the emotional curve is. The progression of the story word by word. That is the sentence that we have given for x-axis and the score. Okay. So this is the story mode, the emotional journey of the story, how it goes. So this is from this itself you can understand it starts from a lower emotion and it goes to a very positive emotion, higher emotion up to 60. So it's a very positive story because the story here that I have given is not the hallway, but I have used this story. Okay, I have commented hallway and I've used another story, which is a very positive story or positive paragraph saying the morning sun breaks through the clouds, bathing the valley. So it's all very positive, bright, all those kind of words. A very positive paragraph that I have given. So that is why this gives you a positive curve. But if I give hallway, what will happen? See here, I have compared both. Golden hour is what I have given, positive story. The hallway is full of fear. So the fear is slowly going in, and towards the end, the fear is going to the maximum level. So the emotional journey here is very negative, whereas in golden hour, it is very positive. So this is another analysis as emotional curve that you can do it for your text. So you can interpret, if you take Frankenstein's novel, in the early chapters, you will see neutral. It will not be negative or positive. So neutral means it will be one standard line in the center. And when that, the Frankenstein, when the monsters comes and it is narrated, there will be all negative emotions. So there will be so much of fear in that. So negative will be, and in the end, the Frankenstein stories, then this will be highly negative. So that is why, that is how the curve will be if you can try that. So the literary insight from this is emotion curves help show narrative mood progression. Session 3 is creating literary stories through structure, networks, and arcs. So here we will see visualizing character networks, story arc or plot arc visualizations, and converting the visual patterns into research arguments. So visualizing character networks. So here you see, even in this picture, you will see some characters over there. And you can see that network, how they are connected. So this character network will show how they appear together in the same scene. You can take one scene and see here Anna is doing the major role. And you can see some solid lines. Anna to Christoph, there is a solid line. Anna to Queen Diana, there is a solid bit. That means they are very solidly, strongly connected with Olaf. And there are other connections. Anna may not be connected to something, maybe. So like that, we can see the visualization of the character networks. So here, if you see this particular picture, there is a friendship, and you can see how the friendship is connected to various things there. So here, the main goal is we want to see who is connected to whom. So nodes will represent the characters and edges will represent their interactions. So mainly you can see the friendship in social media, who interacts with whom. And so if you see the Voyant tool, we will see this left part and we will see how they are connected. That is what we're going to see now. So I'm going to upload the Pride and Prejudice again. Okay. So now here I'm going to, I showed you about this terms and now I'm going to show you about links. Okay, you can see the main character is Elizabeth. So we can see how Elizabeth is connected. There are solid lines, okay, and to Bennett, to Jane, okay, and so this will tell you how they are connected. And if you come here, you can see the collocates. You can see here how this is connected. So you see here Bennett or this Elizabeth is connected to Jane. So like that, Bingley is connected to Jane. So who is connected to whom? Who is playing the major part? Who are playing the subplots? Who is playing the major plot? All that we will be able to see through this. So you can visualize like this, or you can go for other visualizations also. Okay, so this you can, if you want, and if you want to see the documents, you can see here. If you want to see the phrases, you can see here. All this can be seen. Okay, so like this, from this particular link, we will be able to say all this. So if two names are mentioned close together, then the tool will draw this line. I explained all that. So here also there is an example where how Levin and Mike are close, Mike and Will are close to walkie-talkie and so on. So that itself will tell you how the story builds. Okay, so if we saw Pride and Prejudice, dense network is around Elizabeth. So we know that Elizabeth is the main character. If you take Hamlet, there will be centrality around Hamlet, Claudius, and Polonius. If you take Macbeth, the network will show political hierarchy. So please explore all this. Since we have very little time, I cannot show everything. So network will tell you if it is a political structure, which power is major thing. So power structures you will know. Relationship, who is related to whom, we saw that. Who is the central character and who are the marginal character. And what is the structural role. All that we will be able to see. So we can also see sometimes a hub. There is one person will be playing a major thing and they will be connected to different groups. So that is that can be shown here. Mike is the hub or a bridge. One person will be connecting two set of people. That can be shown. Or it could be the marginal. Here Jonathan is at the edge. He only interacts with Nancy. So that is a marginal structure. So structural role also can be learned from this. And we can also see relationship density, like there may be several groups in the network. So then you will say, okay, this is one big group. They are not very much related to the other group. Like that, you'll be able to see the relationship density too. And I said, who's the central character and who are the marginal characters. So if you're if you're in the literature side, you may be analyzing protagonist, antagonist, relationship character. All this you can analyze from this. So a story arc is like a roller coaster. It may climb, drop, and twist. Okay, so the story arc visualization is based on the weight of words. For example, if there is connection, you can give +1. If it is argued, you can give -1. And then when we join all this, we will get the shape of the story. So this is my last program. Same thing. That is, I'm using the text here. Stop words, everything. Positive words I have given in this text, negative words I have given. Stop words, current score. So now here you see whether it is in the stop positive words or in the correct negative word, and it will tell you the curve. If you say if you divide it into 3 segments, it will tell you which one is positive, which one is negative. Like that, it will tell you. Okay, so I am finally drawing the plotting the graph. Okay, so here going to collab. So this is my third program. Okay. So I'm running the third program using the hallway, and I get an output like this. How it is there in the beginning, how it is in the middle, and how it is in the end. So here in the beginning, the fear or the negative is low, then it increases to, so this is the plot curve that we see. Now, if you see here, there is an example that I have given. There is a dip here, okay? The line drops when here there is a passage where there is an argument. Okay, so when there is an argument and tension, the line will drop. And the line, actually, it will drop and then it will climb at the end. Because there is a connection that is built between them. So it is a rising arc in the end. So it starts with tension but ends with emotional closeness. This is the interpretation out of this passage. So here all these you can try. Hope, you can see how love you can see in midway, death, all this you can see from all the text that I have given there. So finally, our main target is converting all these patterns into our research arguments. So you take all these graph and make it meaningful with your literature argument. So you have to interpret from all this and make it into an argument. Example 1, we have taken the hallway, right? So when we took the hallway, it says rising frequency of fear. So it becomes peak in the climax. So the argument is the character is increasingly consumed by fear. So that is how I'm converting that into my argument, research argument. Suppose if I take golden hour, that is a positive paragraph. So if sentiment curve we saw, it shows high positivity. So the argument there is the passage structurally prioritizes the good time. So if you use Hamlet, which I'm not shown here, you can probably analyze Hamlet as rise frequency of death. Take Act 5 and see You can come to an argument as Hamlet is increasingly consumed by mortality. If you take Frankenstein data, sentiment curve will show deep negativity in the monster chapters. So if you put chapter by chapter, there you will see the deep negativity. So the novel structurally prioritizes the monster's trauma. And if you take Jane Eyre data, which is more of freedom, will rise in chapter where Jane leaves oppressive environments. The argument there will be visualization supports the feminist reading of autonomy. So all these things, I have given the argument. I'm not shown it, but then you put it in the tool, you do it yourself and see whether you are able to get this argument. So as a summary, we have seen the visual narrative design, comparative dashboards, the various dashboards in the Voyant tools, and we have seen the emotion and emotion curve or the sentiment curve using the Python program. We have seen about character network and how they relate with each other. We have seen the story arc, the rise and fall of themes, and finally converting it into an argument. So finally, when you finish your assignment, you can do these three things. The graph shows that, and you can write a paragraph, and this suggests that you can write, and therefore one can argue that. So finally, you write your argument. This should be your takeaway. To wrap up, which visual helped you understand literature differently? What story did the visual tell? I'm sure you must have got an answer to these two questions by the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for your patient listening. I'm sorry that I was not able to show my face.
Thank you, ma'am. That was a really wonderful presentation. Before I sum up this session, I invite the participants to ask questions or any clarifications. You can also type your questions on the chat box. The floor is open for questions. Participants, do you have any questions regarding the session?
If there are any questions in the chat box, can you read it out for me? I'm not able to.
Ma'am, as of now, there are no questions on the chat box.
Okay.
The feedback link is shared on the chat box. Participants, you may start filling up the feedback link. Meanwhile, while the questions are getting ready, let me give a very brief summary of this presentation. Ma'am's presentation focused on making literary analysis more accessible and insightful through visualization techniques using Pride and Prejudice as a central example. So we were introduced to user-friendly platform to generate dashboards such as word clouds and frequency tables, trend graphs, context panels, enabling us to identify recurring themes like marriage or dominant emotions such as fear or tension. So it bridged technical skills by introducing Python basics through Google Colab and demonstrating how simple programs can generate these frequency charts, support deeper textual analysis. We also learned how data moves from raw text to meaningful interpretation, reinforcing how digital tools do not replace reading but enhances it by revealing hidden patterns. A key highlight was a visualization of emotional trajectories, like how emotions rise and fall across a narrative, similar to a simple line graph that tracks intensity over time. And the session also explored character relationships, showing how interactions within a story can be mapped visually to better understand plot structure and social dynamics. And ma'am has used a lot of creative analogies like theater and so on, and music to help us to understand these literary visualizations. It helps us to grasp how multiple narrative elements come together to form a cohesive interpretation. Overall, the session emphasized that digital humanities transforms reading into a more interactive, evidence-based, and visually engaging experience. And finally, ma'am, in the last session, you had given us a lot of these research questions. It was very useful for us. So we learned how we can use these tools in order to analyze literary texts and how we can take our research further. So thank you so much, ma'am. Now the floor is open for questions, and participants, would you like to ask any questions regarding any of these digital tools? If you have any doubts regarding the Python code? I'm sure many of us would be probably apprehensive about Python. Those of us who are from the humanities stream, we're not introduced to Python because it is something completely new to us. But we can develop innovative tools. For example, we are developing a prototype where we needn't use the programming as such. We needn't program the Python codes. It is already embedded into the prototype. So what we need to know are these operations, like using voyant tools. When you're using voyant tools, we need not actually learn the program itself, but we need to know what tool creates what kind of output depending on the research question that we have. Yes,
Yeah, if
Professor
someone,
John Jeba has a question. Ma'am, may I read this out?
yeah.
Yes. Is there a limit for a corpus in Python in terms of words or size in one instance?
What does that mean?
In one, while you're clicking once or while you're uploading once,
Okay.
is there a limit for a corpus in Python? I think what he means is, can we upload multiple files, or can we upload only one document? I think that's what
You
sir would
can
like.
upload multiple, but then we can analyze it in a sequence, one after the other. Each one you can keep it as I gave it as text is equal to, and I put it in a text. So you can have like that text one, text two, text three, and then you can analyze each one in a sequence. Can I use Tamil text in Python code? Um, I have not tried, but there should be some interpreter that will that should be able to use this conversion and then do it. Probably I can check with if anybody is working with Tamil text and let you know.
Okay, ma'am.
கட்டாயமா சொல்றேன்.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh,
Karnakaran sir has a question. He asks if voyant tools
Tool
can
is
be used in Tamil.
used for Tamil. Uh, நீங்க
Yeah,
வந்து அந்த வாயன் டூல்ல ஒரு தமிழ் இதை வந்து அப்லோட் பண்ணி பாருங்க, என்ன சொல்லுதுன்னு பார்க்கலாமா? நீங்க நான் என்கிட்ட இப்போ ஒரு தமிழ் பேராகிராஃப் இல்லை. நீங்க வந்து ஒரு தமிழ் பேராகிராஃபை வந்து அப்லோட் பண்ணுங்க. அப்லோட் பண்ணி பார்த்தேன்னா ப்ராபப்ளி நான் செக் பண்ணியிருந்திருக்கணும். நான் செக் பண்ணலை. அண்ட் யூ சி வெதர் இதே மாதிரி அந்த தமிழ் வேர்ட்ஸை வந்து அது பண்ணுதா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு பாருங்க.
ma'am. Professor Arun Kumar has said that it works. He has tried it and it works in
Oh,
voice.
it works, is it? Because I have
Yes.
not tried. So it should work because the word தானே எல்லாமே it is not taking any measures. So it should work. நீங்க வந்து ஒரு தமிழ் இதை அப்லோட் பண்ணி அதே மாதிரி ட்ரை பண்ணி பாருங்க.
Yes, ma'am.
இல்லாட்டி நான் ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு உங்களுக்கு I will share it with Phoebe ma'am and she can put it in the group.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, Professor Deepthi has a question. Can data-driven approaches misrepresent an author's intent or reduce interpretative richness?
It all depends on, as Dr. Phoebe said, see, none of these tools can replace our thinking and analysis. Now, suppose say I'm reading something. This is not a big concern. That particular text is not a big concern for me. All that I want to know is this text on the positive arka, negative arka. That alone I want to know. in my suppose in my research. So I may have some like that on 50 text வந்து நான் கடகடன்னு பார்க்கணும். Then what can I do? I will just put it in a tool and just generate that and see that whether it is positive or negative, and then keep going so that I can save some time. But when it comes to interpretations and analysis, you can use this as a supporting tool, but don't lose your creative analysis actually.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Participants, if there are no more questions, I think we can call it a day. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your very insightful presentation. Thank you, dear participants, for your active participation here and for patient listening. There are some instructions. Dr. Bebin has already shared the feedback link, and this link will be active only till 10 p.m. Participants, kindly note this link will be active only till 10 p.m. It will not be shared via WhatsApp, and submission of the feedback form is mandatory. It will be considered for attendance. Kindly submit the form, fill up and submit the form before 10 p.m. Tonight. And with that, we come to the end of the day 2 of Digital Humanities session. We'll meet again tomorrow, same time. Thank you so much and good
Thank
night.
you very
all of you.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you, dear ma'am. Thank you.
Shall I end the meeting, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.